Hi everyone, Miss Lamb here. Today we are going to learn how to assemble, which means put together our clarinet and take it apart when we are done playing. The first thing we're going to do is take the clarinet and put it on the ground. The reason for that, I know it's tempting to unpack this on your lap, but it actually, if it falls, especially if the case is open, it can cause a lot of damage to the instrument. So we're going to make sure it goes on the ground. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to put it on a table so you can actually see, and I'm not filming on the ground, but just make sure it goes there when you're at home and at school. So we are going to look for the up sticker, which is going to be put on your case at the first lesson. That sticker needs to be facing up, and that way you know that the latches on your case are going the correct direction. The reason for that is some latches open up, some open down. So this way, you'll know if you see the sticker, it's going the right way. So once the sticker is facing upwards, we're going to take off the latches and open up our case. So if you can see inside here, there's lots of different parts of the clarinet. There is the bell, which kind of looks like a lampshade. Then we have two pieces that look very similar to each other. So if you can tell, I'm going to set them both down on even ground. One is just a tiny bit longer and a tiny bit larger too in diameter than the other one. That one is the lower joint, and the smaller one is the upper joint, but they look very similar to each other in size. So just be careful and make sure that you have the correct one. The other piece is much like its name sounds. It's called the barrel, and it actually looks like a barrel too. And the mouthpiece, I'm going to do another video on how to put the reed in the ligature on, because there's a couple little parts that go onto the mouthpiece. But for this video, I just have the mouthpiece by itself. So we assemble the clarinet from bottom to top. So you are going to take the bell of the instrument, that is the bottom, and then using your dominant hand, so I'm left-handed, so I'm going to use my left hand, you are going to pick up the lower joint, which is that longer and a little bit larger one. It has two different sides. The side that we need to use is the one with this cork material on it. I hope you can see that okay. The other side is just a metal ring that we don't need yet. So we're gonna grip it right where it's black only. We don't want to grip it really hard on the keys, which are these silver things, as well as these rods, because they're kind of fragile, and the clarinet right now is perfectly aligned so that it won't leak and it'll play really well. But if we start kind of mangling these keys, then it gets out of alignment and it's a lot harder to play. So we want to make sure when we grip the clarinet, we're gripping it not on the metal parts as much as possible. Okay, so you're going to take the cork end and place it into the bell. Now, it should go in easily. If it's not, I have another video on how to apply cork grease to make that happen. So pause the video here, go watch that, and it should go in nice and easily. Now, there is, on some bells, it's very faded on my clarinet because it's quite old, a logo. I do tend to put that in front for aesthetic reasons, but the bell does not need to be in a certain direction. It could be literally anywhere on here and it'll still play the same. But if you do want to put the logo in the front, it does look nice. Okay, so we've got that part. Now, taking my dominant hand, so left hand for me, this piece, we have to press down a very special key called the bridge key. If you notice, there is an open circle, and in between, there's a shaded in key. So when I press that shaded in key down, notice this key moves up. So this needs to be pressed down so that this goes up, so that it goes onto the instrument correctly. It's really important. This is a really fragile piece of the clarinet, so we need to make sure that we lift this up and not just jam it on, because then it could cause a lot of damage to this bridge key. So we're gonna press it down, and then we are gonna put it on this joint so that it lines up. It's kind of hard to see because it's under this key stack, but you want it to line up with the other side of the key on here. So once it's on and close, then you just twist it slightly and line it up so that it goes straight in a line. And again, I don't know how much you can see this, but I will help you do it in class so that you know what to at least look for. All right, the last piece of the puzzle is this barrel. It's hard to tell on here, but there is a slightly larger side to the barrel. We want that on the bottom. So we're gonna put it nice on top. And then like the bell, the barrel could be any direction. Some have logos, and if you want to put it in the front of the clarinet, you can. It looks nice, but you can actually have it anywhere. It does not matter. Once the instrument's together, you'll notice the back side of the instrument, sorry, it's hard to get it in frame. The back side has this key, a hole, and this silver lever. The front side has all of the keys, so a lot more silver going on here. We need to know that to know where to put our hands, and I'll make another video with that, but also to the direction of the mouthpiece. So this opening right here on the mouthpiece, this needs to be on the back of the clarinet. So when you put it on, it should be mouthpiece opening and then all of the items on the back. Okay, so I'll finish doing this in another video because I want to get a lot of close-ups, but that's the basic assembly of your clarinet. We put it together bottom to top, but when we take it apart, we actually do the reverse. So it's going to be top to bottom. So the first thing you're going to do is take off the mouthpiece and put it in the case. The next piece is the barrel. On a lot of cases, the barrel goes vertically. So just make sure, some it does go horizontal, but in this particular case, it is set up vertically. Okay, then we have to keep that bridge key in mind. So we're gonna press down the bridge key. That opens up this so that we can easily twist it apart and put it in here. Now, when you go to put in these pieces, the case is molded to accept them, but the upper and the lower joint can get a little, like, just make sure you're using the right one, because technically the lower joint will fit kind of into each spot, but if you're having to jam it in or it's not a great fit, like, just make sure that it not only is the correct piece, but that it's going the right direction, because sometimes that can happen, or it's not like upside down. So for this particular case, in most cases, the front of the instrument is what faces up. Okay, then we are going to grip it here without any keys, twist off the bell, put the bell in here, and then again, make sure that it's facing the right direction. So when it's all together, it looks like that. All right, then we are going to latch it. In another video, I'll explain how to swab it, because playing generates a lot of moisture that we don't want sitting in the instrument due to the pads that are on the keys. But I will show you how to do all of that in the maintenance video, and that is how you put together and take apart your clarinet. See you in lesson.